right, oh wait, let's pause that. Okay, we're like here in this reading because there's some crazy messages, and I think Geminis are playing with this mirrored energy right now. Gotcha, you know what I mean? Like, that's the vibe, and so I'm gonna let my Gemini rising live. But obviously, it's divine masculine season. Obviously, like, things have changed. We're clearly in a different space. We're in a different energy. Like, we're kind of at this, like, culmination, ending phase. I felt like, wow, what a great time to, like, make a little mark and a note and sort of talk about what's on the table. We kind of have upgraded in some ways. Just new additions to my tribe here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and like, yeah, we've been waiting for like this level of gratitude to like exist in my expression. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's been such a long time since I've let some of that Venusian beauty in myself like live out, because I've just felt like, oh, there's every reason in the world to feel like whatever type of way. But ultimately today like marks the day that we like implement. It's showtime. How do I say? Like, I got this beautiful message here that is all about how the divine feminine was manifesting something that was going to set her divine masculine, and we're talking about the two energies in you, right? To set the divine masculine up on center stage. So we're having this out of body experience where we're on stage and the lights are on and it's showtime and we're live. And when I talk about like going live, like the sensation of knowing that you are both the divine feminine who has created the opportunity and who is doing this, but then also the divine masculine that's like extemporaneously like connecting to what's happening in the now moment. Like, that is how it's gonna feel, like riding your bike with no handlebars, you know what I mean? Like, guided by the intuition and the balance and the flow and being held up by the air around you, quite literally, but also driving forward. And it's really, really beautiful. We have also been seeing very clearly, like, excuse me if this video gives beautiful scorpionic energy. We're really feeling the vibes. The Scorpio eclipse is like so high vibrational, which I'm so grateful for. High vibrational scorpionic energy is like deep perception. It's don't even talk about it, just be about it. And so it's really great because it's almost like the grass cuts itself. Like, the grass just like, and you just see everything exposed. Every intention is intentional. And that's a huge part of this sort of scorpionic eclipse, and what a high vibrational like Scorpio energy would even sort of look like. So I don't know, I know that when this plays back, it will really be necessary to have that. But yeah, so here we are. But I say this to say the first card that we had out was the Death card here, and I just hear such a beautiful like processing through something, like knowing that you're about to take the like final lap through the graveyard as we speak, clarified by the Four of Pentacles in reverse. You don't even have, this is the shaking up of your foundation. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, not the vibe check. And so when you can anticipate a final lap through sort of this upending of a foundational state, like that can feel really initiating. That can really feel like, oh, we're really about to have to like be in this. And then that can have anxiety and all sorts of things attached to it as well. But truly, let me just say, to bring the vibes right the fuck back up, like the way that you came out, because this already happened. The way that you came out of this death process with this upending of your sacral chakra, Four of Pentacles reverse. Did I say sacral? Well, both, I guess. But really, I was thinking about your root too. But I think, it makes sense too, because I think your sacral might be, your sacral is your ability to create more. And so I think if you're kind of suspended in that Four of Pentacles in reverse, I think like that can also really take a toll there. So it's an interesting highlight, or a different chakra to really think about when we think about like losing physical stability and like basic necessities. So yeah, it kind of could feel like that. It could have kind of felt like we really are going to have to be a part of this. Dang, like whether I was really trying to opt in right now or not, like I guess doesn't really matter, because this is sort of where we're naturally walking. In the emotional space, we have the next card out, Four of Cups, right? Just, however, there is this part of you that doesn't want to talk about how deep down you can try to front to everyone and the divine and say, well, the divine is the one who dragged me through that death process, blah, 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 blah. But you ultimately have this inner inkling that was like, but I am so bored with what I have. Like, even though I may have lost everything, or I may not have it all the same footing that I used to have, like, there was something about the timeliness of it. Like, it was scary to you because you started to realize you were manifesting in real time, right? You started to realize, like, oh shit, like, spirit heard me. Because, like, maybe you complained about your house being like, dude, I'm so over this, like, house. And then boom, like, you lost your house. That's what happened in my situation. So it's kind of one of those, it kind of goes to show, like, the kind of, like, whoa, like, the unnerving that you're emotional, that you're heard. You know what I mean? Because this person's whole MO is like, nobody hears me because I'm under this tree. Like, nobody gets it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we get it. Until God comes out directly to you through this baby cloud and says, oh, I heard everything you were just saying under your breath at these 3 cups. That's when the party gets old, bro. Yeah, because God is changing. We're made in God's image. So hello, of course we want change. You guys want to talk about tower moments. You guys want to talk about destruction. You want to talk about the end and the death cycle so much because you fear death so much. But you don't realize how much you thrive. You wouldn't be here without that changing element. And so this speaks to that emotional body space that's like, but to be honest, like, and maybe it's toxic, right? Like, maybe you were just like, like, maybe you just like to play with yourself. You're like, I could do something crazy and just like have this be the thing. And then you like it kind of happens. Because look at that. Underneath is the tower moment. That's when it's like awkward. When it's like, oh, I was just kidding. Like, dang. Like, this is like, watch what you say. This is like when we were recording spells and some of y'all had no idea what like a spell was or that was even happening. Like, that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of energy we have here where you don't know that you're powerful. That's a different beast, right? When you don't know what you're capable of, like when you really genuinely weren't even anticipating that, like maybe you had some sort of impact on your external environment. Well, you did, because you were sitting up here with your thumb out, or maybe even not even intentionally, but it's like that toxic, I want to say that toxic part of you, but that it's scorpionic, right? It's the taboo part of you that's like, but what if we just brought the tower? Because the tower opens up what? Expansion energy. Then we go to the moon. Oh my God. Because then there's what's in the cup. This is the juice that's in the cup. This is that meetup, right? This is the eclipse that's literally showing up in the center, in the heart of our reading. Is this eclipse. Everybody on either end is being brought to the eclipse point. So there's going to be these like meetups. Look at the end of this week. You're going to see all these, like you're going to find yourself congregating. Say hello, because those are your new soul tribe. But that's like, hey, soul tribe, what's up? We're all brought here. Because you're going to have this moment, too, where hopefully all of you are open because you're all being, like I said, guided by God's gladness in our previous series. And so you're going to be really excited because you're going to be really conscious that that's what's happening. You're going to be like, oh, we're at the meetup. And you're going to just know because it's going to be an energy that pervades, right? There's that King of Wands. And who's showing up? The King of Wands, you at your most expressive. I mean, the hair is purple, the table's purple, like it's giving, right? Venus is in Aries. It's primal, it's weird, it's, you know what I mean? I'm letting the freak flag fly, you know? I mean, like, I can play with perspective. It's a whole nother down. I'm gonna have to I don't even feel like I ever do this, but I'm gonna have to give a whole download about what the Gemini collective is off of. Anyways, they're just playing a beautiful role in this ascension, so. But anyways, the King of Wands, bro. That's the first time we see the divine masculine is arriving under the moon, because look, the moon is when these 2 random dogs, wolves, hounds come and they're like, oh, they're brought to the moon. What's revealed under the moon is that there was someone else who was being guided. So you equal parts learn about the power of the moon, because it wasn't just you who got brought there at that time, at that moment. It was also them who got brought there at that time, at that moment. Like, it's so beyond, it's beyond all things. You know what I mean? It's so, this is crazy because like I'm now like just like in the 2D mirror. Like, this is warping reality. It's giving like, oh, that's my other, okay, anyways. But yeah, like it's gonna be when you realize like there was something else also being guided. So then it's like, oh, You know what I mean? Because there's what your path and your journey by nightfall was, and then there's what their path and their journey was by nightfall, and then there's what y'all were actually communicating or together. Then there's exploring that level of communication that was happening. I mean, it is brazy, dude, and this is beautiful. This takes this. There's no more. Finally, 7 of Wands reversed. Like, no more suffocation. This is when the meek inherit the earth. This is when it's like, beat that nigga. You know what I mean? Like, it's really like the 6 of Wands. It's the same people that propped you up. This is the consciousness. This is reclaiming your consciousness. Because all those wands are like, we could be letting this person like pick at us and like stab us down, whatever. Or if there's a threat like that coming in, then I'm gonna also, maybe I'll swing back. You know, maybe that's what I'll do. And people are finally being liberated in that space. And I feel like it's coming from this very divine feminine expression. Queen of Cups, right? It's like, I'm gonna overthrow and look beautiful while doing it. I'm going to eradicate the ceiling because I can. With love. With love. This person got taken down with love because that's what's happened. Anything that was on the top, any of these top heavy power dynamics where it's not the majority though, like it's like small, concentrated, overzealous amounts of power, right? The way to disarm, the way to dismantle, the way to diffuse is through your Queen of Cups by offering them love. That's gonna throw their whole off. Because let me tell you what just happened to me, right? Which is where I just realized, I was like, yo, there's some people who I found out in real time were like playing me. We're like spiteful, like we're really like in real time, like you don't really think you hear people who are off the power tip, but like I can say like I was really in that space very recently in my life, and when I got put on game, that there were some people that were just off some like punishment vibes, like I don't know, like the inner like slave master really jumped out. I'm not too sure, but it was like, okay, when you get privy to something like that, like what you do next means everything. And I just feel like this is what separates the power hungry, those who can't access the love vibration, from royalty. This is what does it. This is the power play that sets your King of Wands in proper judgment, as in judgment has made its call, the death card has come through, and you end up as the King of Wands. Your divine masculine is still standing in the end because the only way for the divine masculine and the divine feminine to get to the 10 of Cups, because they can't get in independently. That's the point. This is the wealth. The 9 of Cups is like super wealth, right? But the 10 of Cups is like super wealth plus purpose. You can't get that without the other contributions of it, the equal, like, you know what I mean? I'm not just talking about the partners, I'm talking about the kids, I'm talking about the whatever, like all the birthed creations is what I mean. I don't also just mean humans. I mean the organisms, all of the contributions in that 10 of Cups. Like it's having to acknowledge that, okay, I didn't just get my wealth, but we are all working towards this highest abundance, and then also can possibly be having these greater themes come on of where we're like working together towards a common goal. Then we can really paint big brushstrokes of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we're painting as a creation. Then we're going to start understanding how to fucking start reversing the climate change. Then we're going to start understanding how to be in symbiosis again. Then we're going to understand how to respect the seasons again, right? Respect the land again. When less is more, that purification is, the freak flag continues to fly during the age of the Aquarian. I mean, it just doesn't get. And I'm telling you, bro, like you need to watch out for any Gemini placement, any heavy mercurial Gemini placement right now is getting like free range to just go bananas. So you're going to get a lot, because we've had a lot to say. It was like backlog, and I feel like this Mercury retrograding Gemini is like taking over the airwaves. So it's beautiful. So just, if that's why you feel like this is coming a little more extemporaneously, this is a little more like challenging or requiring of you to like take in more of the scene. Maybe it's a little more interesting to look at than like me looking like I'm going through different phases in real life. But I'm telling you, the divine masculine finally believed and accepted the half of the mission that the divine feminine in you was conceiving. She was trying to say, hey, I know the way to reverse the power dynamic here. It's through love. They don't have love. If you're dealing with the most powerful, most rich, wealthy entities, densities that exist, that just have a lot of control, you're gonna have to look at the resources that you have, no matter how small you are. And like some of us, like we're coming from like the means in which I'm producing this is also going to be a part of God's glory, because like it's humble right now, bro. Like reduced all the way down, like less is more type energy right now. But it's the freest thing, because right now you obviously see we got to go a million miles a minute and we still make it happen, because this is me projecting myself out. Anything that you perceive right now about this setup, about like you can see the value that I've been putting into myself. It's just been this slow reclaiming of my hours, of my time. That's where my real value is. And I start doing physical things that are going to translate to you, translate in my messaging as productive, healing, and moving. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to move with this. If we're going to use the word content here, then it needs to be moving. Okay, we don't just need center blocks of information all the time about your life and what it's not even just about that, bro. We got to keep moving with the real message, with the real energy. But I'm telling you, the divine masculine energy within us, which is the part of you that is action oriented, that is fulfilling, that is doing, that is revitalized in that way. It is finally collaborating, and it goes both ways. It's also the divine feminine energy of all of us is also now like realizing that like they have a respect for the divine masculine's craft, for its knowledge, for its specialization is what I'm hearing. And it's only something that divine feminine can get from them. So there's a meeting of why we are coming together and why we are valuable. Why? Because we projected it from our heart space out. Whether you see what I mean? So both of those energies are meeting in ourselves to make the perfect union energy of, so we are now full dimensional beings, right? We have now integrated the light body. We've got our guides, we've got our mineral kingdom, we've got everybody present right now. Like it's boisterous on astral. You know what I mean? Word to the Pisces energy, like it's boisterous right now. Because this is everything. There's no need to struggle to defend, to stay on top. When you don't even have to do that. We can make a new paradigm where it's a distribution. So even if you feel like maybe you resonate with timelines where you're getting dethroned, it feels like, understand that is just your karma. Go in love and light and be grateful, because you will live through it. And what you'll also understand is that the way that we restructure society will be great for everybody, which means that the work that you're doing will pay off, will have dividends. So let's just get to the collaboration of healing self so that we can start projecting unity consciousness again, because we're now whole functioning beings. We're not just showing up with like toxic, partial, crumbs of a divine feminine in reverse energy. Like, no, like we're coming as full human beings, which we haven't even tapped into the capacities. And that's why we're starting to be able to finally pick up and get permission to like bring on the messages, because we're finally getting to an intellectual space where we're starting to untap it. Let's start looking at what's on these Akashics. Let's start looking at what's in the library. What knowledge do you already have about how to be, about what feels good in your body? What do you already have? No influence here, bro. None of that. None of that. What do you already have, bro? Because we already saw it. It means nothing. I don't even know, like, the way that like my college degree, like it just in real time in the years that I was in college, oh my goodness, like the value of that just went to nothing. You know what I mean? So we were thrown into it. You had to be thinking about what's the real answer then? Why are we really doing what we're doing? And it's so beautiful, because the bottom of the deck here, the base of this message is the Two of Swords, meaning this is something you're going to have to feel your way through. Essentially with Shorty right here, she's like, one of y'all stand over here, one of y'all stand over here. I'm gonna close my eyes with a ribbon. I trust my intuitive space so much that I'm gonna close my eyes, and whoever the chopper just swings on, that's the thing that needed to go. That's this love. Two of Swords. Okay, I don't understand. Some of y'all readers got you so juiced off of like your karmics and shit. It's like really crazy, because y'all start thinking the Two of Swords is like, you're just indecisive and you won't make a decision. What? Like what? No. What? No. Because the Ace of Swords is a big deal. The Ace of Swords is like the moment. It's the spiritual coronation. It's the initiation. Okay, we're to the divine council. Okay, when you get your Ace of Swords to yield, the Two of Swords is when it's like getting a new toy or something, or a new gadget or whatever. If you got a new bike, I don't know, right? Like, imagine when a really famous painter gets their first, like, canvas and paintbrush. You know what I mean? It's like your spiritual truth, right? So you learn everything. You take as much, you're obsessed with it. It's the moment for you, Ace of Swords. It's a big deal. So the Two of Swords is the next step, which is the expansion. Now you can juggle two truths, which means, like, I know these two truths so well, I could close my eyes and I could tell you with just by feeling which one is the right one. That's how synced up I am spiritually. Ace, any child, any ace is close to God. Yeah? Yeah? Because, yes, there's the tens, right? 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, right? Where you're real close to God. 10 of Swords, close to death, close to God, right? 10 of Wands, dropping the burden, close to God, right? But don't forget the other end. The aces are also really close to God because they are from God's hand. Hello. So Two of Swords, that's my whole tangent. I'm sorry. I wasn't even, like, Geminis, we're going crazy right now. We're going crazy on them, and I love it for us. There's just too much soul activation right now, but it is so gorgeous because do you know who the face of this woman is when she takes her blindfold off? Guess who it is? Who's clarifying the two? The freaking divine feminine, bro. Bro, she's showing up. She's showing up. Big time. You know? Big time. So I feel like that's a really powerful message. It's really bad, so maybe we'll have another message. Who knows? But this is, like, huge announcement for this week, and I think it's really important. That's probably why it needs to be short, because it needs to, like, be posted today so that we can have some reference. Because and you can tell I have to pee now. But yeah, we have some reference for what's about to go down here Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, by Sunday, Monday, bro, the eclipse, you're gonna see that you're in a whole new world. Yeah, I love that. So, all right, that's the word. Peace, love, and light.